the video, we can talk about Piers Morgan, who is a liberal. Piers Morgan, baby reindeer, Jaguar Wright. I don't know who all these people are. Okay, so what do we got here? Piers Morgan uncensored. I'm so glad no one's censoring this guy. He has, well, calm down. First off, calm down with those sounds, Piers, okay? This isn't the trailer to Inception, buddy. Chill out. It's the global arena for fearless debate, bold opinions, and major interviews. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Well, I mean, we got to go see what some of the Facebook comments are. Steve, you should watch Baby Reindeer. I will not watch Baby Reindeer. I don't need to watch that. And again, I remind everybody I was not baby reindeered by Marjorie Taylor Greene in a hotel in Gaylord, Maryland. So maybe stop saying that. Okay? Maybe stop claiming that happened. When a South Park episode is made about you, that should be a wake-up call. So let's view more comments here. I find this very funny. This is a whole paragraph here. Mr. Piers Morgan, please investigate what is happening in Romania. The globalist state canceled the elections without evidence. They canceled the elections without evidence. They invented a Russia hoax again. Incredibly, the first round was won by the sovereignist conservative Trumpist candidate Galin Georgescu, who is very Trumpist in that they have the same skin tone. Recently, I heard that Trump actually won the Native American vote in this past election, the 2024 election. He won the majority of Native Americans. And on one hand, I was like, that kind of doesn't make sense. Then I'm like, well, it kind of does. He does have their exact skin tone. People are like, what? He's a big orange Cheeto. He's just Native American. Okay? Doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, no holiday decor or fashion. I agree 100%. I don't get the hate for this. What couple are we talking about? All right, let's watch. It's at 3 minutes. Let's steal some content.
That when somebody...
Damn. This guy rocks. I don't know who this man is, but he is set up. I'm trying to go to full screen here. Enter full screen. There we go. Look at this man right here. He has so many guitars and a bass guitar. So many Batman figurines. God damn. This guy, every time he brings a woman home to the house he lives in and owns himself, they're just like, I was wearing underpants when I walked in. What the hell happened? Why is this censored? Why is this censored? Oh, the sound's off. He's called Piers Morgan's uncensored. I'm being censored by my own soundbar right now. Nope, still not working.
When a South Park episode is made about you, that should be a wake-up call.
And this is important to note, actually. If you ever get a chance to be on Piers Morgan, you need to talk bad. And I've got a lot of room to tell other people they're talking bad. But you need to fuck up words immediately, and that lets people know you're on their side. Okay? You need to go on and be like, trans basketball. Make sure that I'm still on Restream right now. I'm still streaming, and the stream has not been dropped. Everyone just comment every few seconds to remind me that this is still happening. Yeah, so I was going to go on YouTube, but we're instead going to instead be watching Facebook clips. That feels like that's the best venue for Piers Morgan, is Facebook clips. Yeah, so it keeps cutting the sound out.
Particularly in this country that doesn't even like our own celebrities anymore. Thank God.
Mm-hmm. We hate our celebrities, except for the important celebrities like Kevin Sorbo, Zachary Levi, Donald Trump. Every time I pause, it mutes.
Have we got the holiday season card there?
This is why everyone on Facebook is so mad all the time. You try to play video and it just mutes, and you're like, fuck, we need to nuke Israel or Palestine or whichever one I'm against. I see again.
Look at this. I mean, it is utterly grotesque. Mm-hmm. I mean, this sort of self-aggrandizing. Look at us. We're doing such wonderful charitable works. The kids, obviously, who they always want to try and...
I'm going to be straight up, Piers. Listen, Piers. Piers is the only good guy. Scooter. How dare you? You will be getting sued by Piers Morgan and the entire, for that matter, British populace. Every single British person. Because if you come for Piers Morgan, you're coming from all of them. Speaking of the British populace, Piers Morgan is trying to be like, oh, there's a major issue here. It's the holiday card from Prince Harry and Meghan, from Prince Harry and his wife, the fourth lead of Suits. And he's trying to get us mad. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people died in the Revolutionary War, so that I don't give a fuck about the royal family. I do not give a shit. Not even a little bit. Their Christmas card could be them just raping children while Jeffrey Epstein's the back going, hell yeah, very nice. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to care. So let's see if he can get me to care. It would be an amazing accomplishment.
Except when they're putting them on their Christmas cards and so on. What does it say about them?
Well, it's quite pathetic because they're trying to appeal to an ever-dwindling fan base. So you have to think, which other people have their own Christmas cards where they...
Okay, so just remember, all right, because the British like to pretend that they're better than us. They like to pretend, we watch Masterpiece Theatre. We go to the West End and watch important plays. No. This is British television. He has a couple Americans on there. This is British television, okay? You get really upset about some royals. Remember, every time any British person tries to fucking criticize you for anything, just go, hey, how many people in Britain waited like literally 14 hours in line to sign a card for a dead syphilitic pedophile? Oh, the whole fucking country? That's what I thought. Maybe shut up.
Images of themselves and the backs of their children, for example, which is kind of a tongue-in-cheek way of like saying, look at us, but don't really look at us. And you're thinking, who is the fan base now? Are they so disconnected from reality that they don't understand, where they stand? I mean, on the sort of Polo series.
Okay, she just said on the Polo series. I'm not going to care, Piers. I'm just not going to give a shit. If the Queen came back to life, and then scientists were like, death isn't real. We've discovered a key to immortality. This will change everything. I'd go, I don't give a shit because I'm just not going to care about the British, period, full stop.
Difficult to make polo interesting. It's a bunch of rich people on horses smacking the balls.
Well, in a way, it is them, isn't it? It's a bunch of entitled, rich, privileged people with no concept of the real world running around on very expensive horses, whacking balls around, and kind of to most of the world irrelevant, which is...
I'm going to be honest, polo seems more interesting than baseball. Here in America, the problem with baseball, there's interesting stuff that happens, but every 3 seconds they just stop and you just sit there and pay $12 for a beer. Whereas polo, there's horses. Every sport would be improved by horses. Hockey, let some horses onto the ice. Just see what happens. Every game of hockey, there should be 15 minutes where there are literally no rules, but there are a lot of horses. I think viewership would spike.
Themselves.
Yeah, unintentionally, which is the funny thing, because these are the same people that were so convinced that once they leave, the royal family, they've walked into these massive contracts with Netflix and Spotify. And I'm telling you now, this is one of the biggest financial regrets by Netflix because they've got nothing out of that couple.
No, that's not true. Okay, Prince Harry's going to be in the next season of Stranger Things.
Boring couple to throw this money at. But now they're realizing actually the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Meghan is selling jam. I mean, she left the royal family to sell jam.
Well, yeah, I mean, Critical Drinker, we've got the Meghan cooking show coming, apparently, and then this ridiculous range of stuff coming out of her kitchen with jams and so on.
Okay, so to clarify, is the guy with the beard the Critical Drinker? Because the black lady, the black British lady, and also choose one. Okay, choose one. Scooter says, I've been to Britain. It's like being a movie, but you realize the movie world sucks. That's true. It's actually the first time I ever went to Britain, which I've never done. But if you go to Britain, you might try to do Harry Potter spells. Expecto Patronus. They won't work. And that's false advertising. And I will be filing a lawsuit against the current Prime Minister of England, who I believe is Piers Morgan. I don't know how he finds the time. It's great. So the Critical Drinker is the dude with the beard and the Batman stuff behind him, right? I've heard of this guy a little bit before. He comes out surrounded by all this stuff and just offers opinions on things. And people go, yeah, this is a reasonable guy. This is a grown man. I'm going to listen to what he has to say about politics.
I think the problem they have is their only real interest to the world was when they were being vile about their family, who happened to be very famous royals. And the problem for them in the royal firmament is...
So big ups to these two guys who are just kind of hanging out, just every now and then going, sure.
Want the king.
I like how Piers Morgan has production values. It's like a big show. Half of the guests just have not even AirPods. Half of the guests have the cheap, a corded headphones that they bought for $12 on Amazon. Fuck it. Let them on. Get me on Piers Morgan. God damn it. We need to do this. Get me on Piers Morgan. I have much nice, they're also corded, but I have a whole nice setup. I have a green screen. I'll probably set it up. Depends on how I feel that day, but get me on, Piers.
The Prince and Princess of Wales to turn up at their events, their big premieres and so on. They don't want to be anywhere near the toxic duo in Montecito because they don't want to piss off the main event royals and stop them coming to support their stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, wow, Netflix must be really regretting that $100 million deal that they did with them, because so far,
for some reason, was not ready for this man to be Scottish. I don't know why that's a surprise to me. It shouldn't be. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to set it to nothing down here. I'm going to set it to the X down here. Let's play and see if it switches to sound when it plays this time. Did not.
they complain about how hard their lives are from their multi-million-dollar mansion, and a documentary about...
Okay, let's guess what this ethnically ambiguous man over here, what his accent's going to be. I'm going to guess Trinidadian.
Possibly one of the most boring, pretentious, and ridiculous things that I've seen in months. So yeah, it's not been a great investment for them. And I think the wider fan base, the wider public has come to the conclusion that these people really don't have much to offer beyond their royal titles, which are kind of defunct at this point anyway.
Oh, we didn't even get to hear him talk. The black guy. You let the black man be quiet.
Don't have much to...
He doesn't say anything. The case for cancel culture he has in the background. He probably had a deal where he's like, I will do the Piers Morgan panel as long as I'm not required to talk. I will be playing Candy Crush on my phone the whole time. So Piers Morgan's panel blasts Harry and Meghan documentary and Christmas card. Here's a good one. CENK Uyghur calls Dave Rubin a giant sellout fraud. So we're going to watch this one. And I think it's disgusting. CENK Uyghur, who is on one hand a wide man, and so I respect that from him. Okay, am I still live? Let me make sure I'm still live here on Restream.com. I'm almost getting a Steveception going on right here. I could do one of those in the middle, but I'm not going to. We still got 6 viewers, man. We're killing it. So CENK Uyghur, who is this man in the upper right-hand corner, he is very wide, also ethnically ambiguous. Tell me Hispanic, I'll believe it. Tell me half black, I'll need to see his penis. But he's a radical communist leftist, host of the Young Turks, and he has recently had a bit of a change. He has decided that crime is a problem, and if you're homeless, get it together or we're putting you in the furnace. So there's been some comparisons made between him and David Rubin, the guy in the upper middle right here, who is a good friend of mine. We have not had gay sex. Stop posting that. Stop saying me and David Rubin have had gay sex. It's just not true. I don't respect it. So there have been some comparisons because Dave Rubin famously, like myself, left the left. He was on the left and the left left him. So now let's hear what Piers has to say to these two men. Oh yeah, can't hear.
Carry on down the road you're going in the last few weeks,
I go back to the beginning.
CENK, I mean, many people saying if you carry on down the road you're going in the last few weeks, you will be a fully fledged member of MAGA before we know it.
By the way, so if I press the space bar, that just mutes it. Okay, good to know. What if I press the space bar again? No, that doesn't do anything. So Piers Morgan has a nice little smile on his face right there, as he should, because that's a great joke, I guess. I'm not sure.
I'm not
a little bit.
I'm not like no chance of that. I'm not like Dave Rubin, a giant sellout fraud. Wow. He changed all of his positions and is totally useless, and it shouldn't even be on here. He's just a waste of space.
Wow.
Now, what's really funny, we're going to play that again. Look at Dave Rubin's face during that. Okay, the left me and took the kids as well as my PS5, Scooter says. You're damn right. Listen up, liberals. My wife left me. So what's very funny is in that moment, and you can tell Dave Rubin is a guy who's secure in himself and what he's doing in the world by how chill he is in that face. Look at this. Look at this. Turn the sound on.
He changed all of his positions and is totally useless, and it shouldn't even be on here. He's just a waste of space.
Wow. Really? After what all Dave said about coming together?
And so first off, that counts as cyberbullying. Secondly, whenever Dave Rubin says you should come together, he's referring to what he calls a potluck, okay? And I recommend not going to it. He didn't fuck my ass. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, got no interest in coming together with utter frauds like Dave Rubin. So, brother, you telling me that when you were on the Young Turks, you were Mr. Progressive and you agreed with us 100%. Now, all of a sudden, you agree with Trump 100%. You're not saying something.
Another thing I like, I don't know who this random Asian woman is in the bottom. She seems very concerned. I don't think she knows anyone. I think she probably wrote a book about like plants or something. And she was like, you're doing a media interview. She goes, okay, sounds good. She's like, the fuck is everyone yelling at each other for? God damn. She seems to have no idea, but she does seem to be looking at this as if it's cyberbullying, which of course it is.
Nuance like we are. Hey, you know, when the guy gets shot at and he puts his fist up, that's courageous. When he does the McDonald's photo op and it works fine, no problem, right? If he wants to cut the Pentagon, great. Those are progressive positions. Anti-corruption, progressive position. Anti-war, progressive position. But you change all of your ideology overnight and you expect us to believe that that's real? I don't think it's real at all. And I want an apology from you for all the crazy, outrageous lies that you told about the Young Turks. When is that going to happen, huh? Wow. When are you going to admit that you changed all your positions for money? Okay. Well, what?
So first off, and I just got to stress this right now, it is wrong to say that Dave Rubin changed all his positions for money. He's not even making that much money. That's why he had me buy dinner. Last time we hung out, we went to California Pizza Kitchen. He was ordering all these apps. Drinks, get tequila shots. Then afterwards, he's like, oh, buddy, I don't have a lot of money. I recently lost a lucrative sponsor. The woke chunk is now MAGA, they say. I agree. And first off, there's a lot of names you can have for Cenk Uygur, Chunk Yogurt, okay? It's not funny. He's a man on a path. He is a communist, and so he should, be re-educated, but don't use mean names.
That's in any way a so-called classic liberal, you fraud.
Dave?
Piers, it's barely worth responding to this ridiculous buffoon who's the joke of the industry, I will...
Look at Piers. Not Piers. Look at Cenk Uyghur's face. What's very funny about this is that, listen, a lot of times people are polite. Piers Morgan is a lot like the real world in the 90s. People stop being polite and get real. I don't need to turn the sound on because we're just going to see Cenk Uyghur's face here, which rocks. We'll play.
It's barely worth responding to this ridiculous buffoon who's the joke of the industry, I will say this, Cenk, you have...
He truly hates it. Let's get real. Fuck it.
Right when you're thinking you're a total fraud.
I don't think he's a fraud or a joke. I think Dave Rubin is... For what?
Now, Piers Morgan makes a little mistake here because Cenk Uyghur says even right-wingers think you're a total fraud. And then Piers goes, I don't think you're a total fraud, but your opinion doesn't matter, Piers, because he's talking about right-wingers. You are a moderate centrist like myself.
Piers,
even right-wingers think you're a total fraud.
I don't think he's a fraud or a joke. I think Dave Rubin is, for what it's worth, I think Dave Rubin is one of the most influential and significant voices out there right now.
Finally, someone's willing to stand up for Dave Rubin. For so long, people have been bullying him, calling him R-worded or F-worded or pretty much any slur you can throw it. Be honest, if it's a slur, you can throw it at Dave Rubin, okay? He's 6'2" or something. You can call him a midget. No one's going to argue. You can just throw that right out there. Okay? But finally, Piers Morgan, an alpha male, stands up for him.
I admire his honesty about the journey he's been on, Jack.
Well, that's the whole thing. All right, so that's a little Piers Morgan for you guys. What do you think? Do you think Facebook is the best way to watch Piers Morgan? I definitely think so.
Shut up and sit down.